What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today we're going to talk about how I spend my gems at the Mysterious Merchant, and I am spending gems aggressively, trying to make my way toward Tier 5 troops, which is a long way away, but you need to get a lot of speed ups, so let's talk about how we are currently spending our gems. Now, anytime I see something in the top row of the Mysterious Merchant that is purchasable for resources, I almost always buy it unless the thing that I'm buying is gold. Because I don't need any more gold. I got more gold than I know what to do with. Now, when the resources in the top are at 90% off, that means they are at a better price than what you can get at the VIP shop. So I almost always, in fact, I always, without hesitation, buy the ones that are 90% off and require gems. We don't see anything like that right now, so we'll move on. If we head down to the speed up row, and this is where we are spending way more than I have historically, because we're trying to get a lot of speed ups, slowly making our way toward tier 5. Um, it is worth mentioning that the game goes through some really interesting phases. At the start of the game, you really need speed ups, and you're going to be hurting for those. At the midpoint in the game, you're going to be really hurting for resources. And in the end game, you're going to be hurting for speed ups again, which is kind of fascinating. So I'm back to spending resources to buy speed ups. And so every time I see an opportunity to do it, I go ahead and I make those purchases. The breakpoint for me for spending gems to buy speed ups is now at the 60% mark. It's generally the 60% mark, and that is because at the VIP shop, you can buy 1 hour of speed ups for like 58% off. So I buy them at 60% off here, and I feel pretty good about that. And it's a pretty close comparison point. I am, by the way, buying all of the speed ups at the 1 hour mark that cost 50 gems a pop. Because we're spending gems pretty darn aggressively. That's not the best value. And if you're not buying a lot of gems, you probably want to wait until you see this at like 70 or 80% off before you consider making your purchase. And they do get that high. So we're going to pick both of those up and feel really good about it. Now, in this row here in the boosts, the thing that we're most frequently buying is the 24-hour boosts. And we've got a lot of those saved up at this point. We've got almost 2 weeks worth of those saved up. So we're not picking up any more of those today. We also often pick up the 24-hour gathering speed boost. And if you haven't watched my gathering series, they'll put a card up in the top that talks about city production boosts and how and when and why you should use them for profit. We'll talk about exactly how and why you should be maxing out your gathering speed. Check out that series if you haven't already. Now, in the bottom row, I personally do not buy experience tomes with gems or with resources because, look, I spend a lot of time running around the map killing Shrine and Altar Guardians. That is how I'm getting my experience, and I get a ton of it that way. So I personally am not picking those up. I know a lot of players that do. The thing that we're frequently looking for in this bottom row is stars, and we want to buy those stars with resources basically whenever they show up. So we're going to use our free refresh, see if we get anything interesting. You can see in the top row, we've got 90% off on wood. We'll grab that without thinking much at all. And now we've got some stuff that is 70% off. This is where you're really making a profit on these pickups. We're going to grab both of those. The 50% off is really expensive. 50% off is really expensive, so we're not going to pick that up. We get better value in the VIP shop. It's about 500 gems for the same number of speed ups, and those are generic speed ups too when we get them from the VIP shop. So instead, though, we're going to use our resources to pick the 4 hours of speed up there. That's really, really strong. In the boosts category, I might consider getting this advanced army expansion if I needed them. I have one, so we're good. I think I've got enough 24-hour enhanced gathering speed boosts at the moment, so we don't need to get that. And if this was for gems, we would grab it. Do I think it's worth using the 100 refresh if you are a moderate gem acquirer? Maybe. Maybe. If you're spending very aggressively like I am right now, you could consider doing the 100 refresh. I'll mention that one of the big spenders in my alliance has been doing all the way up to like a 400 refresh because he's racing his way to T5. I think that's a little too pricey for my blood. So we're just going to start with this 100 refresh, and we'll talk about maybe we do the 200. You can see here this is worth 90% off, so we're going to pick that up for gems. We're ignoring the gold coins because we don't need them, even though we could buy them with resources. At 70% off, we are incredibly happy picking those speed ups up. We're also happy to pick this up for resources. At 70% off, we're still happy at getting these research speed ups. Now, it's worth mentioning that the base price of these 5-minute speed ups is actually generally pretty high. You can get it's like 500 5-minute speed ups, which costs 3,000, I think, gems, and ends up being fewer hours of speed ups than if you just bought the 1 hour speed ups at the VIP shop and it costs less. Anyways, at 70% off, it's a good deal. We're getting it. And it's worth talking about these healing speed ups for a moment. We're not spending any gems on those, and I'm actually not spending any resources on those either. I know Ark of Osiris is every other week. I understand it to be a 2-week rotation. We'll see if it actually kind of works out that way. So anyways, especially at 50% off, that is not a good enough bargain for speed ups in general, and we are going to pass on that. We are running a little low on the 24-hour wood boost, so we're going to grab that. If these sculptures had been available for resources, we would have picked them up. Now, I'm going to do something I would probably not recommend, which is that I've noticed that spending 200 gems for a refresh is a lot. It's a lot. That's the equivalent of, like, I don't know, it's almost like 8 hours of speed up if we had bought it at the VIP shop in like the 8-hour chunk, or 4 hours of speed up if you buy them 4 hours of speed up exactly. If you get them at the VIP shop at 50% off, for the purpose of doing this spending guide, we're going to spend the 200 gems and do the refresh. You can see here another 2 items at the top for 90% off. We just snap those off without thinking too much about it. You can see here there's 2 hours of healing speed up for resources. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get those, and this is why the 200 gem refresh is really too expensive, in my opinion, to be doing, because this speed up row is basically dead to us. We're going to grab like a small amount of speed up here for resources, but everything else that is in here is really, really unimpressive, and so that is super disappointing. Another reason we don't need to be doing the 200 gem refresh is that we have a lot of these 24-hour enhanced gathering and gold boosts, so we didn't need to do that to get more of them. We don't need more, but God, I just feel so bad about having spent 200 gems that I'm going to do it anyways, since it's resources to get them. But it makes no sense to do, and now I'm making bad choices and throwing good money after bad. Wait, no, bad money after good? Whatever. We shouldn't be buying it, and we are anyways. We'll use them eventually. So there you have it. That is how I spend my gems today at the Mysterious Merchant, and we blew through a lot of them in a short amount of time. I really don't think the 200 gem refresh is worth it. The 100 refresh is even kind of questionable unless you're going to be purchasing a lot of stuff. You really should only be doing that if you are a moderate to high gem acquirer and are looking to rush your way up. So my friends, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do like and subscribe. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.